Hello and welcome to Inside Music, episode number 202. As always, I'm your host, James Shotwell, and it's great to be with you again. My guest today is my buddy Jordan Griffin from the band Them Evils. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the group, that's perfectly fine. They're a rather new rock band in the world, and their career has been a little bit sidetracked by what's been happening with the coronavirus. You know, as much as social media helps us connect with one another, it's not that much easier for bands to get recognized today as it were 20 years ago. And without live music, it feels often impossible to get your name out there. Them Evils had a massive year planned, but then COVID happened and they were sidetracked. The band is getting it together. They're still releasing music. They're still one of the most exciting new bands of 2020, and I'm excited to share their story with you today. But I do want to point out that the episode you're about to hear was recorded prior to the events of last week, meaning that we did not yet know about what happened with George Floyd. The protests had not started, the riots had not started, the political upheaval that we're witnessing right now was not a thing just yet, so we don't mention it here, but it is very much on all our minds. And if you have the ability to support Black Lives Matter or any of the foundations and nonprofits that are working to fix the systematic problems that we have here in the United States, please support them. I do want to tell you that this episode of Inside Music is brought to you by Holix, the music industry's leading promotional distribution platform. Join Holix and get a free 30-day trial. Just visit holix.com today to sign up. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of Inside Music.
I don't know. I guess the same way. Half of the people are still doing it. Half of them aren't, like no one's really social distancing anymore. And if they want to, they just kind of stay inside. But our beaches and our downtown areas, they're just they're insane.
Mm-hmm. That's what it seems like when I watch online. Like it's California is weirdly one of those places that becomes like a media hotspot in times like these, where it's like, you don't really get a lot of news about what's happening in the states that surround Michigan, but every night on TV, I can see what's happening in California.
Yep.
Well, how are you doing? Are you staying sane? Are you doing all right, staying safe and healthy and all that jazz?
Staying safe and healthy, staying sane. Nothing like some whiskey and some White Claws won't fix, and some guitar. So I've been good. I got stir crazy for a little bit, but
it sounds like it worked out.
It worked out. Believe me, I made it work.
Well, man, I'm excited to talk to you today because it is currently the day before your new song comes out, right? Where are you going to crash tonight?
Yeah. Are we recording right now?
Yeah, we've already started.
Oh, sweet. Fuck yeah.
You're fine.
Oh, sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
can't say that. Sorry.
You can say whatever you want. It's a podcast. It's the internet.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. We actually released a acoustic video for that on Monday, just to kind of get a teaser out there. It's a weird way to release music. We've never done an acoustic video before the actual song came out. But we got a really, really good response. It's getting shared on Facebook. There's a lot of views on YouTube. And I think the fans are really going to dig the new direction.
Well, I like it, man. I'm writing about it for Substream Magazine in addition to doing this conversation with you. So I feel like I've been knee deep in it for about a week or two now.
Awesome, dude. Thank you so much. It's awesome.
No problem at all, man. It's easy to write about things you enjoy.
That's true. It's easy to write about things that you enjoy as well.
That's exactly.
Songs, whiskey, having fun, going on tour, sleeping in an RV every night.
Well, tell me a little bit about the song, because I know that it's a road song, which seems a little weird to be hearing at a time when so many of us are not on the road, or at least shouldn't be. As I just mentioned, there's traffic outside my windows. So tell me, when did this song come about? When were you like, this is the next single, this is what we have to release? Give me the whole story.
So the whole story with this song was we were signed to Better Noise Records. and we just got dropped because we weren't really vibing with the A&R guy. They weren't feeling our new tones, our new sounds, our new songs. So within like the last day or two, we found Kevin Thrasher, and he's from Escape the Fate. And this is the first time we met him. We went to his house, and he had a guy named Aaron Edwards over there. And they were like, hey, we got this song start. We're like, all right, let's check it out. So we loved it. We were like, this isn't Them Evils. This isn't what we've been used to, because we're always writing classic rock kind of style songs. This one was very modern. So we're like, you know what, let's go with it. Let's try it. And halfway in, we were writing the first verse and the chorus, and it was just like, wow, this is really, really cool. And we all kind of just collaborated on the lyrics. Aaron Edwards is a really good top liner. So he came in with the line, "Where are you going to crash tonight?" And we kind of just wrote around it. And we kept the version of what's that Jet song, "Are You Gonna Be My Girl," kind of as inspiration. You know, there's just like those throwaway cheeky little lines like, "Are you gonna be my girl?" And then like, "Where are you gonna crash tonight?" You know, we kind of kept that in mind when we wrote the song. And I think it's one of, you know, the best ones that we've written, and I really enjoy it. And I think everyone else is going to love it too.
Well, man, I have to agree with you. And it's funny because I feel like in 2020, people are only now starting to fully appreciate how influential Jet were. Like when they came out, I feel like they were kind of lumped in with all these other bands that didn't really stand the test of time as much. But I've heard quite a few artists as of late where my first thought is like, this seems like Jet inspired or Jet adjacent.
Yeah, I mean, Jet is one of my all-time favorite bands, and when I write songs, I definitely pull from them. I listen to a lot of their records, even that Get Born one, which is literally every song on there is just a banger, hit, smash. Yeah, I mean, all they did was take AC/DC and Beatles and The Who and mesh them together and just wrote really killer songs. And the tones on that album, it sounds like an old AC/DC album too. The way he sings, everything is amazing, and I think they're very underrated. I don't know why. I think it's because people think they stole from AC/DC, but they kind of just sound similar, and then they made it just as good, and if not better.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where you hear that first record and you're just like, how do you come out the gate swinging with an album like this? Like, how do you start here?
They came out swinging. It was grand slams, the whole record.
Yeah. I mean, I was just looking it up out of curiosity the other day, and I saw that first album sold like 2 million units in the United States before streaming. Like, they sold real records.
Yep. I think that was probably like one of the last bands to ever sell rock records and make a killing. If they would have came out now, you know, they would just be releasing singles like us. No one is going to buy their, you know, whole album, but maybe they would, because it's such a damn good album that people are like, you know what? I don't need to buy a single song. I'm just going to buy the whole thing. Yeah.
I mean, I wish they would. They went away for a while. They're kind of back now, but I hope that maybe, I guess every time we talk about touring now, it's 2021. So I hope maybe in 2021 or so, Jack gets it together and gives us like a almost 20 year tour for Get Born at least. Like, let's do it one more time.
Yes. Yeah. They actually came back and played a few shows in Japan and Australia, I think. Yeah. And they were all sold out. So, I mean, I hope they come back, because I would love to tour with those guys.
There we go.
Throw that in there.
Let's plant the seed right now. Like, Jet returns, Them Evils on there. It's just a rocking good time.
That's true.
Well, man, what I appreciate about your guys' story is you hit this point where like you part ways with Better Noise, who obviously isn't a label that a lot of people recognize. They work with a lot of big rock bands, and it seems like you guys kind of did like that post breakup glow up thing where it was like, you might not want me, but I'm going to come back better than ever. And you just like hit the ground running as soon as you're in this predicament, where a lot of artists, it seems, might not have that gumption to be like, we got to keep going. It might have taken that blow and knocked them down a few pegs.
Yeah, I mean, we have a story. You know, we've been through it all. We have things to write about. We have things to say. You know, we don't all live with our parents and just get, you know, silver spoons fed up our ass. We have a story. We have things to say. And this is all we want to do. I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to sit in a cubicle. I don't want to stare at a computer screen unless I'm like, making demos or producing a song. I don't want to sell cars. I want to play rock and roll, be in an RV, tour with my best buds, and play in front of people and inspire people every night. That's what I've always wanted to do. So a few bumps in the road, that's going to happen, whether it's, someone dying, band members not getting along, getting dropped from your record, having no money. You always find a way to make it work. And we always have, and we've never really had that. We never wanted to give up. We never will, I don't think. So yeah. Yeah, no giving up. Keep on rocking.
That's what I love to hear, man. Well, let me ask you this, because I kind of touched on this a second ago, that it must be a weird time to be promoting what is essentially a road song at a time when you aren't touring, you aren't out there playing. So for you as an artist, like, what has this promotion process been like in the age of coronavirus versus 2 years ago when you were promoting your last release and you could be on the road, you could be in front of people every night, you're getting that face-to-face engagement. Like, what's it been like trying to promote this song right now?
I think it's been great. Everyone's on their phone right now. Everyone's on Facebook. Everyone's on YouTube. Everyone's listening to podcasts and is on Spotify listening to music. So I think we've gotten a better interaction social media wise with that stuff, because more people are able to pay attention now, and they don't really have a choice. And then we're doing things like live streaming shows we've done in LA, and we've just done like acoustic video stuff. So I think it's working. I can't complain about it. And social media is kind of like the new wave of promotion, and it's free. So we're doing it all on our own. And well, of course, we have Ed Bunker, our PR guy. He's doing all like the magazine stuff and the interview stuff. But when it comes to our social medias, I think we've been having a pretty good engagement ratio. And people don't have a choice but to see what we're doing.
Yeah, I think you're right. Everyone is on their phones more. There's no notification I dread more than my weekly Twitter usage update notification.
Yep.
where it tells you you've been on your phone for like 7 hours a day.
Yeah, I don't even like social media. I don't do that part of the band. That's Jake. But ever since this quarantine happened, I've been on social media more than I have my entire life combined in this last month. So, I mean, I'm sure everyone else on the planet is on the same page. And I've even been discovering like more music and listening to newer things and getting out of my like little box of rock and roll.
That's a good point. What has been your quarantine anthem as of late? Like, what are you listening to on repeat?
A lot of our mixes, but music wise, what was I listening to? I've been listening to Enema by Tool, and then I have Kings of Leon, Only by the Night in my car when I jam. And then my favorite band's Alice in Chains, so I always listen to Facelift and Dirt. A lot of Doors and a lot of Tom Petty, actually.
Nothing wrong with any of those suggestions.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I have one specific anthem.
No, I get it, man. But it is weird because you kind of fall into the things that are like your comfort listening, and then that leads you to new stuff that you haven't thought of, but it's still kind of in that pocket. But I love that you mentioned the Kings of Leon record, because that's one I also have been revisiting lately. That's another example like that Jet record where you're just like, how do you just stack this many bangers on top of each other?
Yeah, exactly. Closer and Crawl, those are my two favorite songs. And then what's the last song? Be Somebody? Is it Be? Oh no, is it Cold Desert?
It's Cold Desert is last.
Yes. You know what is a really, really excellent album is Band of Skulls, the Darling Face Honey one.
Oh hell yeah.
With Light in the Morning. That's one of my favorite records of all time.
Oh, I love it. See, and I think that anyone listening to this, you guys don't necessarily sound like any of those bands specifically, but if you hear your things that you're listening to and people are like, hell yeah, I love those records, then Them Evil single, right up their alley. You're painting a picture here. You're drawing them in.
Yes, if you like all those bands, you're going to love Them Evils.
Well, so the single drops this Friday, tomorrow, May 29th. what comes next for Them Eagles?
Hopefully we replan our tour. We get that scheduled. And then you're just going to hear a lot more singles. We're just going to be kind of out there doing our own thing, get the ball rolling again. A lot more live acoustic videos, and more interaction on social media. So we're just going to be releasing content and just keeping that ball rolling.
Now, I want to talk to you about that real quick, your release style, because you guys are a band that's really utilizing the singles approach to promoting music. Was that, at what point did you realize like that was the future for you?
Well, we're not an established, hit making band. And we don't really have the money we have money, but we just don't have the record label money to create a whole album. And I think just releasing singles keeps people entertained more. It keeps their attention span going. Because if we released everything at once, they would get tired of us. They would just listen to that record a few times, put it on to the side and listen to someone new. Whereas if we approach it by releasing something every month or every few weeks, we're keeping them on the line. We're keeping them drawn in. And so they have no other choice but to listen to our new single or the previous ones when they're on our, Spotify page or Apple Music page. So they're going to hear all the bangers when the new one comes out instead of just putting the album to the side.
I think that's genius. And I think that's the way to do it. I've been trying to urge more artists to fall into that pattern just because, and I'm somebody that loves albums, but I think especially for artists that don't have a giant established following, you can easily give people too much content at once and then you just kind of like blow the rollout.
Exactly. I think that you should release like maybe 7-8 singles, maybe not do a whole LP, but as soon as those singles are release a vinyl at the end, because no one's buying CDs, no one's really purchasing the whole album. So when we go on tour, we have that vinyl to sell and we could sell it to like $40-$50. And that could be the music listening experience once they've heard all the songs on Spotify,
I love that. I've been one of the bands I've been listening to a lot lately is Mount Joy, and they've been putting out singles every week or every other week since January, and the album finally comes out this week or next week. And I feel like, and I'm constantly like, oh my God, there's another new song. And it took me even a while to be like, oh, we're building an album here. I was just like, dang, this band just keeps releasing singles.
Yeah.
And that keeps me engaged. Plus, those algorithms, they want to show you the newest thing from the artist that you're listening to. So in your case, somebody listens to, the new song this week and you choose to release another song in a month, it's going to show them that new song. Whereas you put a whole album out, they're still only going to show them one song off that record.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. I think it's a genius idea. It's definitely the new approach and it's working because these algorithms are just so stupid and bogus. People aren't listening to what they want to listen to. People are listening to what Spotify's telling them to listen to. And it's all about algorithms and it's just a mind game and it's just so dumb, but that's the way the business is right now. So you got to play the game.
No, you're absolutely right, man. Well, I want to wrap this up quickly, but I want to ask you this before we go. For anyone that is still on the fence, hasn't heard Them Evils before, but they're curious about this new song. You're on the show. They're listening now. Give me your quick pitch of like why somebody should check out this track.
Well, if you like balls out rock and roll, and if your life's boring and you're looking for something new and exciting, then Them Evils is it. It's about a 3.5-minute banger. It's full of guitar riffs. It's got a great solo, good vocal melodies. And if you're just sitting on your couch from the quarantine blues, you're going to put it on and you're going to fucking feel like you're alive again and you're going to have a blast. And I hope everyone's going to have a good time listening to it just as I do. Because I listen to it a lot and I still love the song. So if it does that for me, I think everyone's going to enjoy it.
Absolutely, man. And I back everything you just said. It is an ass kicker of a song and it sets you guys up for a big return. I'm when everything started to close down, I was mostly concerned about all the shows from the big bands that I had tickets to. But as it's gone on, I'm now hungering more for the small crowds because that feels more like just grounded. And like, that's what I want. And I want to go back to like tight, intimate rock shows. And so I'm excited to see you guys get back out there on the road and rock these songs.
Hell yeah. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you so much for having me today.
No problem. You have a wonderful time, man. I'll talk to you again soon, hopefully.
All right. You as well, brother. See you soon.